I can do this.
Stick. Or...
Okay, now we're going.
Yep.
All right. I don't know how long that's gonna go. Just do it. Yeah. Well, shit. Okay, so you grew up here. When did you get into cars?
I've been into cars when I was a little kid, and I saw a hot rod in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
I knew that was my shit.
Yeah.
And that was just, this was all fucking rural area.
Right.
And there was always, down the street from me was a chopped 40 Merc, not finished.
Sure.
There was chopped and channeled 34 pickup, full fender, primer. There was, Davis had a 40 coupe. Davis had a 32 Ford pickup with stacks on it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just badass.
Yeah.
Front fenders and no bed at the time, I don't think. That looked so cool. Because my grammar school right over here was in front of the high school. So for him to go to high school, he had to drive past the grammar school.
Yeah.
And there's me and Vale out there playing ball in the morning in 5th and 6th grade. And here's all these fucking cool cars.
That is cool.
Then
So that's how you knew Jim?
Jim lived around the corner from Dwight, right up the street here,
Mm-hmm.
not too far. But Pete Ogden had T-Roadsters. And I remember I'd find out where these fuckers hung out, and I'd get on my bicycle, and I would go to wherever they were. Like Pete's car would be in front of the Monument Bowl. He'd be in the bar.
Yeah.
And I'd just sit outside there on my bike till he came out. I mean, I just had to, I'm just sitting there. Now, then I'd get to hear it run and see it drive off, and then got to know him, and I ended up working for him.
Yeah.
And
How was that? Like, how'd you approach them at first? Were they like beat a kid's grand?
How did that happen? I ended up buying his pickup, and he knew, I hung out with Davis and worked for Davis a little. So Pete, I had been laid off from the fire truck place, went to work at Jim's Auto Body, left there to work for Himsel. Himsel rented a little shop for me to do work for him.
That's
And
Art
Pete,
Himsel painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pete came in. Art wasn't making any money. By the time he paid me and paid rent, he wasn't making any money. He was doing me a favor.
Yeah, I know.
So Pete
I know
came
that
in.
life
He
all
had
too
a
well.
shop, and he said, "Hey, you want to come to work for me? I got a midget. I got to make a hood and belly pan for, and I got this and that." I said, "Yeah, okay." So I told Art, I said, "Hey, you're going backwards on this deal. I'm going to work for Pete." So, which I did.
Yeah.
And learned a lot. Taught me the heliarc, and very little pay. And it's not like you got paid every week, but
What year is this, Bob?
This was 1970.
Were you you were out of school?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, out of
Yeah.
school since '61.
Okay.
So, learned a lot from Pete. Left Pete because there was no money, and went to work. Jim Howe just opened a shop. Went to work at his shop.
For Jim Howe, doing
Wrought iron.
industrial shit.
Iron.
Yeah.
And
How'd you meet Jim?
Jim, through hanging at the muffler shop. He went to school in Walnut Creek. I went to school in Pleasant Hill, but
Okay.
car guys all knew the car guys.
And the muffler shop was where you guys, that was the
Pleasant Hill.
place?
Yeah, everybody hung out there.
That's cool.
So.
And Jim was
worked for
Jim, was he drag racing yet?
Who?
Jim Howe?
He had raced out of high school, but he was too serious into work.
I see.
So he was building his business.
Gotcha.
He ended up canning me, and at the
You
time,
went and got your truck washed.
yeah, came back and he handed me my check. But anyway, so it was time to go to fucking Memphis on the National Hot Rod Run. I had no job. I was living at home, and me and Art and Denny Craig borrowed Hemsel's brother's 36 Ford two-door sedan. And I didn't know Andy or any of them guys at the time. 14 cars.
Andy Brizio and those guys?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys did convoy out to Tennessee?
Yeah, and
That's
after
cool.
2 days on the road, you knew all those guys. They're
Sure.
a bunch of sick fuckers.
Is
boy.
that right?
And a bunch of good guys, Cub Barnett and, you know, Andy and all these guys that worked at American Racing Wheels.
Yeah.
It was a fun trip. Went to Memphis, then down to New Orleans, from New Orleans to Texas, New Mexico, came home. And
This was all in that 36?
yeah, it was a nice two-door sedan. Other guys are in those T-Roadsters.
Fuck that.
Right? No air, though, back then. But
Yeah.
anyway, on the way home, I told Denny, I said, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a job anymore. He says, yeah, you do. He says, I'm going to work for Andy. You're coming with me. So he would pick me up every morning. We'd go to South City. I was living at home. He'd come by and pick me up. Go to South City to Andy's. That was another kind of a no-do deal. Well, while all this was going on...
You guys pouring fiberglass and shit?
No, building those T chassis, those instant Ts.
Gotcha.
Plus doing a guy bring in a 40 Ford and want a Chevy motor put in or something. But anyway, during this time, and then every night after work, you go next door to Malloy's and get fucked up every night. That wasn't working good for me.
How old were you by then?
I was just came home from that trip, so I was 27.
Yeah.
But anyway, Davis had broke his arm severely when he crashed the Dragon. The roll bar pinched it, the poor restraints. So it was a one year recovery. And he told me, he said, hey, I'm going to see if Cook wants to come to work for me. I need help. And if he can't come to work, I'll pay you $5 an hour if you want to work for me.
Okay.
So Cook couldn't do it. So I left Andy's. And my mom and dad's house was like from here to the end of the street from Davis's, so it was ideal.
Sure.
But getting my unemployment from Howe and working for Davis Gas, I mean, what could be better?
That was pretty good.
Every day we'd go eat a steak for lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, life was good.
Yeah.
And so that went on. Then we built those dragsters. We're still building front ends and top fuel cars. And then the rear engine came in. You had to convert for safety reasons. You had to have a rear engine car because too many guys were getting hurt.
Yeah.
So everybody we had sold front engine cars to,
Game wanted a retrofit.
you had to redo.
Yeah. Now,
Once you've been in business,
is that warranty?
yeah. Once you've got your network of guys,
Sure.
everybody has to upgrade.
Yeah.
You know, you run a car for a year or two hard, you're ready for a new chassis.
Yeah.
So you only need like 5 or 6 real customers to keep you busy, and you just keep revolving. So all the rear engine deals, and then it got so expensive, everybody was phasing out. If you weren't one of them big sponsored
big
guys. So about that time, Arlen came in. Through a friend of ours, he asked a friend of ours, hey, you know anybody to build motorcycle frames for me? He was dealing with Noons at the time, and something wasn't working good.
Yeah.
So Arlen walked into Davis's, introduced himself, had the seam jeans on, cowboy boots, you know, just fucking good old guy.
Sure.
Driving a Cadillac, and he had a Sportster frame with no swing arm. Just a stock Sportster frame. And I'll never forget, he laid it down on the floor, and him and Davis drew around it with soapstone, and then drew, like, we're going to build rigid frames.
Sure.
And then drew what he wanted it to look like, you know, 4 inches longer, 2 inches higher.
Yeah.
And then I forget how we determined the axle height for the frame to be 4 inches off the ground, probably.
Sure.
And then a 16-inch wheel with tires. And I'll never fucking forget, because everybody, me and Bale and every fucking guy in this area was building an old rigid at the time, but it'd take a year. You know, you'd fucking go out and you'd bolt the oil tank in, and you'd smoke a joint or something, and I mean, it'd take a year to put the bite together. Sure. You know, you'd have to go find a fucking ratchet top. You gotta fucking, it was just, nobody did it quick. Well, I know Sportsters are a lot easier because of the tranny and everything.
Yeah,
Arlen, we made a frame the next week, a 7/8 tubing frame. Arlen picked it up, and he rode that fucker out the next week.
Jesus
pulled
Christ.
up. We hear a motorcycle pulling up, and I looked out, and here's this fucking hardtail Sportster, olive drab. The only thing that wasn't painted was the headlight glass and the taillight lens. Olive drab, the whole fucking bike. It looked so fucking badass.
Yeah.
And it had a white star on the gas tank.
Okay, yeah, he went mil spec, huh?
Yeah, and he had fucking foul weather coat on and a pair of goggles.
Oh man, that's
And
so
I
cool.
thought, fuck, he just walked out the door with this frame like on Friday, and this is Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
But that's a no-brainer, right? You slip the fucking front end up to the neck, tighten it up,
Yeah.
put a set of drag bars on, bolt the motor in. It's a no, and hook the twist grip up.
You're fucking ready to go.
And pipes were painted, every fucking thing olive drab. So he said, "You want to take it for a ride?" And I said, "Shit, yeah, I want to take it for a ride." This was still a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And I rode that thing a couple of miles up down North Main. Oh, fucking people were just going nuts. And then he parked out in front of his store. He just opened his first little store. It was about as big as what we're in here.
And that was in
Very
San
skinny.
Leandro?
Yeah.
Or, San Leandro.
San Leandro,
Yeah.
East 14th. And he'd park it on the sidewalk so people would see it. People start coming in, and then the rest was history.
Yeah.
More of those frames. Then the front section for the stock swing arm frames.
Right.
We just cut them off at the
Well
front.
done, goosenecks.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: the geometry that you guys come up with on the floor that day, was there somebody else building frames that looked like that yet? Was
No,
Harmon doing them
no,
or anybody?
no.
Was that just
Well,
something?
Arlen had already had Noons
That's
making.
right. That's
but,
right.
But it's not like he brought one in. Maybe he never got one from Noons.
Yeah.
That could have been.
Well,
because
he was doing
he would have had
Century,
some
right?
figures probably.
Ron Noons, I think, was doing Century framework.
Century.
Yeah.
Well, Arlen was connected with Century on front ends.
Right.
So,
I had an old Ron Noons Sportster, and that was a real nice frame, chromoly, TIG welded.
his shit's good.
Yeah, nice. He's still out there. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's doing bike stuff.
I just saw him the other day down at the house.
Did you?
But anyway, then it went into Big Twin. At the time, early 70s, if you rode a Big Twin, you were a fucking Okie.
Is that right?
You had to ride a Sportster. And I mean the biggest guys in the world, guys the size of Howe
Yeah.
and Ellington were riding the Sportsters.
Yeah.
A guy like me, it's almost ideal, the perfect bike. But nobody rode the Big Twin, or you were a fucking cowboy right out of fucking Kansas.
No
you know?
shit.
Then Sportsters would beat a Big Twin in a race, and then all of a sudden, Big Twins came in. I mean, you had to have a fucking 74. So we started making those frames, even made Honda frames.
Yeah.
Then, Arlen had a guy making gas tanks similar to these,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't,
Cutting the mustard.
yeah. His work was fine, he just couldn't get them. So Arlen told me, if you want to, we talked, and I was going to say, okay, I'll buy me a sheet metal shear and a brake. You gonna give me enough work? He said, oh yeah. So I bought that shear and that brake.
That one right there.
Yeah, they were in, and I had to put them in my parents' garage and started making his gas tanks. Then I
So
moved.
you did all of Arlen's tanks on that
Yeah.
sheet metal brake
Yeah.
and that shear right
Yeah.
there.
And then I moved here, and Davis moved to Brentwood. So my job was gone. You know, Davis just told me, he says, hey, I want to slow it down. He says, and I said, okay, then I'll work here. So he hadn't moved yet, but he just wanted to slow things down. And I was okay coming here and doing Arlen's gas tanks, oil tanks. He would bring front ends to weld. He'd have all the parts, and I'd weld those Century type front ends. And Davis would send a bunch of frames home with me, and I'd put them together. He'd make up everything, and then I'd go out, pick up 10, bring them home.
Have you seen what those Century style springers are going for these days?
Well, there for years they were free. You mean like swaps and shit? I mean anywhere from 50 to 150. Now they're probably 500.
No, it's the low bend ones are $1,500.
They are?
Well, you can't find them first
Yeah.
of all, and if you find them, it's that.
God.
So now, wouldn't a guy like you Would they be considered reproduction if the OG guy just started making them again?
No.
So there you go.
I mean,
Well,
There you go, Bob.
I thought, I could sell these tanks on eBay.
Sure.
But I'm almost embarrassed. They're so clunky by today's standards.
Well,
I'm embarrassed to make a hard.
See, I think that's what you may not understand is that today's standards are clunky. They want clunky again.
Yeah,
There's a
'cause-
whole world again that likes that shit.
I mean, when I was doing that shit, I would have given anything to be able to make a compound curve.
Sure.
I know, like everybody on Instagram making gas tanks and all this neat shit, and then
Yeah.
I go back to sheet metal brake and start bending up hard edge
There's a
tanks.
world.
But
I'm
I'd
telling
probably
you.
get $500 or $600 a tank today.
Well, but, I think it would be because Bob Munroe made them.
Well, I'd like to
Yeah.
think that.
I
But
think these should be in the museum. Your work from back in the day, it's a piece of history.
I see bikes on Instagram. I got pictures of them
Yeah.
on with my tank. In
I
fact,
know.
I show it to Hal, and he says, "How do you know that's yours?" And I said,
Well,
"How?"
yeah, well, what do you expect Jim to say?
Exactly. So I didn't know you knew him that well.
Yeah,
He says,
yeah.
"How do you know somebody didn't make it?" I say, "How?" I ran into guys at Sturgis with those tanks,
Sure.
and I'd go up to talk to them. And one guy said, "This son of a bitch has got so much fucking rust in it." I didn't tell him.
Yeah.
I stopped the conversation then.
Yeah.
But I mean, that wasn't my fault.
Well, no,
But-
just somebody forgot to turn the sprinklers off. That's something maybe that it's I can only speak from my experience, but I think it's come around to a different audience, and these guys really dig this shit.
Yeah. Oh, me and Arlen, we have we've made fat bobs out of Sportster tanks out of fat bobs. We've done oil in the frame, oil in the gas tank.
Yeah, I'll see a bike
Just
with some
different.
guy thinking he just reinvented the wheel. I'm like, I'm pretty sure mine did 3 versions of that.
And I don't
in
know how many
74.
fucking miles of pipes. And then those little digger fenders,
Mm-hmm.
we take those flat fenders,
Mhm.
cut them, and I
Well,
3/8 bar,
Yeah.
and that was a mail order.
Yeah.
And then it was up to them to get them on the bike,
Yeah.
which they, dog it around a little, center, bend this one, bend that one.
yeah.
A lot of those chain guards, battery boxes, oil tanks.
Was it you that was telling me those? Remember Jesse James did those hellbent pipes,
Yeah, but we were the first.
and you
Yeah.
did a set of them first.
They were an accident.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you one of the bikes we did. We wanted to have. I'll never find that fucking piece now. But what I did, I took a piece of pipe.
Oh, you got state's evidence sitting here somewhere where you can
Yeah.
corroborate your story?
Yeah, I got. We wanted some nice sweeping bend, so a friend of mine, Reverend,
Yeah.
down in Oakland.
Sure, I know the Rev. Been out there a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, he has a set of rolls. Look at that.
There it is.
See that bead?
Uh huh.
Well, I put tubing and pipe dies.
Right.
So if I tighten that fucking roller down, and it was electric, a reversible switch, I tighten the thing down and roll it through.
Take a picture of that fucking thing.
I
would you,
do,
please?
and then it came out like that. I said, "Oh fuck!" Here, let me wipe it off.
No,
No, it's better
think
this
it's
way.
better.
Yeah,
this way.
do that. I thought, oh, Arlen might not like that. Fuck, when that's chrome, that fucking bead.
Yeah.
So this is cool.
Can I get you to hold it, Bob? I don't mean
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I don't mean to tell you.
Can you hold it up a little bit? Yep, there you go.
You want it like that?
No, like this. A little bit. Yep, there you go.
So anyway,
So Arlen,
Sorry.
Arlen,
More.
he gets pretty anal about some stuff, but not really. He's so easy. But he decided
Okay, thank you.
these weren't going to be a production pipe. Those are going to be for our own bikes. This was mostly Softail frames, if I remember right.
invite only.
No, it wasn't Softail frames because these weren't for sale. So I get a call one day, and it's Jesse, but I didn't know it was Jesse. And he says, yeah, I want a set of those pipes that Arlen has on that one bike. And he said, you did them. And I said, well, we don't sell those. And he says, well, I talked to him, and he said it was okay. And I said, well, what kind of bike? And it was for a Softail. I said, I don't have a Softail here to build a set on. He said, well, what if I bring a Softail up there? And then I saw him with these pipes, so I know it was him that phoned. But nobody rolled them like this. He fabricated his.
Yeah.
This is a piece of cake. If you had the right tubing dies, it wouldn't pinch this. But that pinch chromed, that fucker really looks good.
When I worked there, I worked across the street where his personal shop was. Mm-hmm. But the main shop, the original shop, he had some big. I guess it was a press brake, or it was a big nasty press brake that they were doing those. They had those forming dies in to make the pipes.
Were they doing 2 halves and welding them?
I never saw him do it. I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
they were. It was C's, but and they'd seam weld them. Yeah. I never saw guys do it, but the polishing shop was over there too, and I seen a metal finish all that shit. I thought at one point maybe they were doing them somewhere else.
This is the
that's
easy
the OG
way.
there. Yeah.
And then I would split another one and make a cover.
Mm-hmm.
So
like a heat shield.
Yeah. But these were good.
Yeah.
But like I say, it wasn't a catalog item.
Yeah.
And then got into those big body bikes.
Yeah.
And he's still doing bikes. You got in-house guy now, Jim Jennings. He's real good.
Is that right?
I knew him for years. He worked in Hayward, had his own place. He's one of those guys that couldn't make it happen. His work is beautiful. I go in there and I see something. I said, fuck, somebody made this, or this is a store-bought? He said, no, Jennings made it. Fucking nice fairing, nice fucking... I don't know that. I think they got an English wheel now. Yeah. They're not overloaded with tools.
I remember, I guess it was Solus maybe that was in there doing stuff for him for a minute, saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You run into Arlen every once in a while?
Yeah. In fact, he's about due, I'd say.
Yeah.
He went to Bike Week last week.
Okay.
Phoenix.
Yeah. That sounds good. So tell me about that first panhead you got for $550. Was that
okay? So this friend of mine pulls up in front of my house, my mom and dad's. This guy's crazy. Ed Hyder. He drove drag boats. He ended up with a real big time fab shop in Fresno doing Hyder Hawk sprint cars. I mean, big time. He was really into it. But anyway, he was a screw loose when we were all young, late 60s, early 70s. And he had a shovel head, swing arm shovel head. And at my parents' house, there was a little grade from our driveway, went down the street. And he'd come over to my house, he'd go down the bottom of that grade, and he would hammer that fucker and do a burnout like a fucking race car. I'd never seen a Harley do a burnout in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had the power to do a burnout.
Yeah.
So what's really funny, while he's doing that, a Walnut Creek cop that I knew ever since I was a kid, he was parked in my driveway for a visit because he'd be patrolling and he was bored, so he'd come by my house. There'd be somebody there with a fucking hot rod or a bike.
Cooking. Right.
So he's there on his Harley in my driveway. We're visiting. Hyder's doing burnout up the street, and there's a lady pushing her fucking baby a baby in a stroller.
Oh, Jesus.
She puts in the call, right? Because here's a cop sitting there, and this guy's doing burnout.
Yeah.
But anyway, that cop always got in trouble that way. But anyway, after I saw that, I said, I got to go buy me a fucking Harley. I had no idea they had that kind of power. So I put the word out, and the guy at work said, I know where you can buy a Harley. The guy wants $550. He just came home from Vietnam. Fuck, I was there and drove that home. That was a good bike. And I sold that bike to buy my first Heliark. Paid $550, sold it for $11 something to buy my Hobart.
There you go.
And then I replaced that with another nice 59 FLH. That was a nice bike.
Is that the one I seen? You had a picture of your old man sitting on it, maybe.
I don't remember if I got any. I turned it into an Arlen bike.
Oh,
I
you
put
did.
put my motor in that frame, and then I wrecked the fucker on my maiden voyage because my brake pedal fell off,
Oh boy.
and I fucking ran into a truck, broke my foot.
Yeah.
Fixed the bike, and then Harlan. I mean, we just kept having. There was bikes, a steady flow of bikes. Sometimes a complete build, mostly doing gas tank and doing fender and a set of pipes, just doing shit. And then he'd take it home, take it all apart, Bondo paint it. There's another chopper.
Done.
And bring in another one, bring in another one. Go to Sacramento. He'd stop here on his way home from Sacramento with a trailer with 4 or 5 cop bikes, you know, 2,500 to 4,000 for.
Get them at auctions or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then take them back, strip them, bring the frame out. I do a front section on the frame. And he sold the shit out of those. You know, because those FXRs made nice bikes.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of them so much because they got the Japanese frame look. You know,
Yeah.
but
I'm not real keen on them either.
they are really a decent bike. The look has to grow on you.
I feel the same way. I've been tasked to come up with a better looking version. And a lot of guys really like the way they look.
Well, that frame the
do
Chopper
much
Dice
for me.
makes is almost identical
Scraggs.
to an original.
Yeah. Well, the Scraggs, I think, I don't know the man personally, and I've seen a couple of them up close. They're just really well made factory ones.
He's got a good guy, Gary, that's a real. I doubt if Gary's still there because he was older 20 years ago. But the guy was good.
Yeah.
And the frames are good and everything fits. And if you saw one sitting there, you wouldn't know it wasn't an original Harley frame, although it is better.
Is that
but
right?
you wouldn't know.
What I hear is they go like 1.5 inches out. Is the only difference, and that way Harley can't come after them. Or something to that effect. This is just, a friend of a friend said something like that.
I would imagine.
But they're nice,
package
TIG welded,
gone.
nice machines.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I even considered
Yeah.
because mine is raked, and I would almost like an original FXR frame now instead of my raked frame and my stretch tank.
Guys say they handle great, and I have one sitting in my place that I was supposed to ride to get to know. I even owned one for like a year. I never even fucking rode it around the block. They just don't do it for me. I don't look right on it.
When I see ads on Craigslist and a guy's selling an FXR, and he always says the best bike Harley ever made. Well, who's to say that? Everybody just, one guy says that about FXR, so everybody else agrees. Well, I don't know that I got one. It ain't that good of a rider.
Yeah, what are you trying to do, first of all?
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look good. I'm just trying to meet chicks.
So, anyway, there's that one.
All right.
With is it one blower or 2 blowers? One blower. One of these we had 2 motors in.
Is that right?
And then one, I did a Victory one that was really nice. Because the Victory motor was so much easier to bolt in. I put a motor plate on it because it was user friendly for a motor plate. Look at that fucking tire. Anyway.
So then, moles after that.
So then, things got slow, because of the rule you can't only do one custom Harley, and frames were fading out.
Or something.
And so Steve, he came by periodically to get louvers done or to visit. He said, hey, he always used to ask me, hey, you staying busy? I'd say, yeah, I got plenty of work.
Yeah.
And which one is that? That's that Scat motor.
Is that a small block?
That's a Scat Chevy.
Oh, okay.
That's a V6 Chevy. Or a V6 or V4.
Was this an Arlen project?
That's a V8.
Yeah.
V8 Chevy, a Scat.
There's my I-beam that I turned into my fixture.
Yeah, see there, and there's one of those front sections. See, I got to cut apart of FXR frame, waiting to get.
Just waiting. Yeah, fucking I-beam seen a lot of action. Oh, this handsome devil.
Well, that's a bike for the shack. See how long it is?
Is that right?
Is that
The
one?
basketball player?
Yeah.
Shaquille
See,
What?
see where the brake pedal is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Large gentleman.
it was a stupid bike, really. I mean, what can you do? But it was something to where he could reach. The,
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. There's a picture in there somewhere. We did one for Luke Longley,
Who's Luke Longley?
Chicago Bulls basketball player, 7'3",
Another
330 pounds, 330 pounds, and no fat.
Were these guys that would come to Arlen, or is this a promotional deal?
Oh, they'd seek him out
They'd
because
seek
they'd
him out.
see a bike in a magazine or at a
That
show.
fucking thing. That's
I mean-
kind of gnarly, Bob. Yeah, that's a
That's the
6.
Scat,
That looks
yeah.
like a little 6.
Yeah. That's a
cute.
sick, yeah.
Yeah, sure looks like it, huh?
Yeah, and then with the Harley tranny, they put them in midgets. Scat Motors went in midgets.
Yeah. Are these all these bodies, were these all aluminum?
Let me see. Yeah, that fender, I never did like this. That was for a bike for, this bike went for Drag Specialties.
Okay.
The owner, and I never liked it. The fender was way too high off the tire. It was just,
And is that all MIG welded that you're doing on there? Or excuse me, TIG welded?
TIG,
You're taking
yeah.
all those?
yeah.
How do you like hammering on that shit?
You can't. I just, now that I've been around Troy and down there, I would gas weld again. I did some tanks that I gas welded. The mess it makes with the flux, you always go back to TIG, and you have flux all over everything. Everything gets
Covered in
rusty.
soot, yeah.
But boy, when it comes, once you get it down, the finish work is gone. you
Yeah, it's
know.
dead soft and it don't want to crack on you, that's for sure.
You can hammer it off, or you can just file it. So,
This is a nice piece here.
which one you got there?
Just that little front cowl.
Oh yeah,
That's a little cute
that was
there.
for Carl Berard up in the Grass Valley. He designed some paints. That was actually a pretty nice bike.
Hey, can I have this picture?
You can take a picture of it. I don't want to get rid of none
You
of
don't
this.
wanna get rid
That's
of
kind of a stick. Kind of look like I just walked out of the bar.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
fixture. See, that's how I would fixture up to make the aluminum fender.
Yeah. Just laying strips of flat bar like that.
Yeah, that's just
Or
fucking
sheet metal strip there. What do you think, Ken? Is it best to, can we take some flicks of these pictures? Will it
Yeah.
turn out
You
decent?
can take
Yeah,
pictures,
it will.
or we can go down to Walgreens and get copies. But you can probably take pictures of the pictures.
I can take a picture of the picture if
All
you pick them out.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to pick out some of your faves here, Bob?
Oh
Or is
no, that you
whatever?
guys take. This is that bike.
I don't want to
Thi-
mix up these rubber
This
bands.
was
and shit.
Arnie. That first fairing I made for Arnie, roughed out. There it is, done, and it actually turned out pretty damn good. And that's the one. Then Arlen had a made in
I
fiberglass
see.
to sell for his. There it is, luxury liners.
The liners. All right, bear with me here if you don't mind.
There's just different stuff in there.
Uh-huh.
There's some bike stuff. That's the first body bike I did for him. I really didn't know what I was doing. I just worked my ass off trying to figure it out. This bike is the Pepsi bike. This guy is one of the hamsters, and he owns a company. Any Pepsi sign you see in any diner has to go through his company. So he wanted a bike, and he wanted a Pepsi theme. So that's the Pepsi logo. you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
So we did a bike,
Okay.
and then it's painted the red, white, and blue like Pepsi. That was still. I look back on that shit now. It doesn't look. The work doesn't look too bad. I was still learning a lot. But, Are you a freelance or you work
Yes,
for
I
a
am.
magazine?
I'm
You're freelance.
Yep.
And you just do bikes, or you'll do anything people want?
Basically anything, but I shoot for this vintage motorcycle magazine out of Japan. I'm originally from Japan, so
You are?
yes, I am.
Yeah, I always thought you were like
No.
Michoacan or somewhere down there, Rosarito or something maybe. Well, shit, I don't know. Let's get those. You got those two old flicks. Let's get
I
a
got
picture
that.
of those.
I got that.
Would it break your heart, Bob, if I can get you to hold one of these tanks?
No.
Oh man, I think that'd be so cool.
So if you want
we
one
can
of those
take
diamonds,
those
you got to
down
reach
and
back
see.
there.
Well, I'm gonna hold one. You're gonna hold one, maybe. What do you think of that?
It'd be like we're gonna bond with
Yeah,
gas
we'll do
tanks.
some bondage.
They're just on a piece of wire.
I'll see you here.
Yeah, get this one. Either one of those, whatever one you like.
Well, that one's from fucking outer space. That one kind of blows my mind.
Oh, with the fucking lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Sneak back.
All right, I'll do
Bob, who designed these tanks?
I did.
No, you did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I wouldn't waste your time. This is the guy.
Well,
I wouldn't drag you out here for a fucking
I was
proposal.
just curious. I didn't know if it was your idea or something.
this is rocket. That's diamond.
diamond. Okay.
There's another
Wow.
rocket without the nose on it.
Oh
But
man.
see, if I made these today and put them on eBay, they're made to fit an Arlen frame. So a guy might buy one of these, and what's he gonna put it on?
Oh, you know,
You know?
guys.
You know, actually, my friend Zach is building a digger
He's
right
got a
now,
dig- is
and
he-
he's looking for one of these actually.
Yeah, he wants me to make him.
Okay,
one.
here.
You should just have Bob
Okay,
make
can
him
I get a photo and I can send it to him? He's gonna freak
So,
out.
so we're gonna leave the dust and everything?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, here, you get in here.
Alright, I'm gonna get this one. Okay, and then okay.
You want
Then
me to
I'm gonna
turn-
do
You want me to get out of here?
No. Let's do one together.
How about
and
those
one.
webs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that fucking webs.
That's real patina there.
Okay, hold on.
This shit is like fucking 40 years old, you know? It's
All right. Okay. Cool. And he's actually bought a Century low bend recently, and now he's looking for one of those.
Zach knows about you, and I always tease him like I might be going to see Bob Minnow
yeah,
next weekend.
fuck, he's got some leftover tanks, man.
Okay. Okay.
He's gonna take them to the dumps.
Okay. Bob over here. Okay. Okay. And let's do just Bob. Can you
Get me out.
bring him that
fine.
tank on this side? And then maybe have him hold that one.
I will
I'm
have
gonna
him
hold
hold
it.
that
I'm
one.
gonna hold it different.
Just be safe with the baby. Hey Ken, let me steal one of them smokes.
It's in the car.
All right.
Which way? Which
Oh,
way
here.
do you want?
The window's not even rolled up. so-
Okay.
Okay. And can you move this way a little
Hey,
bit?
you guys, it's still recording, so if you start talking shit about me, I'm gonna know.
Okay. I'll do it in front of you. Okay. Wow. This is amazing. This is so good. Okay, Bob, a little bit up. Okay. Can you let me see. I want to do something different. Can you like not hold it up, but can you do maybe like something like this, just a little bit more.
Yeah,
not
I
like
just-
this.
Yeah,
but
like I
that.
just fucking bought this thing at a swap meet and I'm walking around with it.
Right, and let's do it in front where you were.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take this chair away. Thanks for helping us out. This is okay.
Tell me if you want to rotate it.
Yeah, rotate it towards me a little bit, and then a little bit relaxed, and then come towards me a little bit, please. Yeah, there you go. A little bit this way, this way, this way, this way, there. Okay. Okay, I'm actually gonna clean the table out a little bit. Sorry, it's a little bit involved, but okay. All right, let's go. Let's do it. All right. Okay. Ball come a little bit this way. There. Too much. Just split the difference there. All right. Thank you. Okay. Up over here, please. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Oh my God.
Hey, he's got the original patterns.
What? Oh my God. Maybe you should ask him like how this became what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause this is strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
You know, in a good way.
Sure.
Because it's like, I mean, are they in drugs or?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. What made you come up with this design?
Just looking at.
Ken's like, was he on drugs or? When did you meet Bones?
Bones?
Yeah, you met him
Bones.
through boats?
Bones was up here in the 60s, was the boom of apartment houses in Contra Costa County. There were never any apartments.
He's always
here.
been a construction guy.
And he was a framing contractor,
Yeah.
is what he was. And that's how I met him. And then he got into boat racing with Bale. And he ended up marrying Bale's ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's Cuddy's mom.
yeah, and
Cuddy
she's pretty much saved his life, really, or he'd have been dead due to drugs and drinking and smoking. And they have a happy life. You know, she told him, "Hey, it's either me or
Jamie.
your fucking bad habits, which it's gonna be." And man, back in these days, it was just fucking everybody had a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was a Honda, but everybody had a motorcycle.
What would a guy have into a real nice one back then?
$3,000.
That was a showstopper.
You could buy one out of Oakland. In fact, Mac Bale bought a winning bike out of Oakland for, I think, $20-some $100 on trophy night. A friend of mine had it, and I said, "Hey, this guy's looking to buy." And he just came back from Vietnam. Mac did, and had a Himso flake job, panhead, rigid frame, a stock rigid frame. Back then, Oakland on trophy night, watching the Harleys, because there were so many Angel bikes then, and that was before electric start. Just watching them start those fuckers was just the best.
And when you say trophy night, you mean like at the Roadster show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Sunday night was trophy night, and everybody rode out.
Yeah.
I don't think they let you do that anymore.
Rode out of the show.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'd start up in there, make all the noise you wanted, and ride out and pull a wheelie or do a burnout in your car. I did it. I mean, it was just crazy, and people loved it.
Yeah.
But the Angels starting those bikes, they've been sitting. Oakland used to be a 14-day show. So
Yeah.
those bikes have been sitting for 14 days.
Something oil
And
all
those
over the
guys,
floor.
trophy night, I mean, it wasn't like they were one kickers, you know, where they were a mag or a battery, and that was a real show.
Yeah.
14 grand. That's
14
about
grand,
right.
that's about right. Yeah.
Which would you find?
$3,000 in 1975 equals 14 grand in
Oh,
today.
yeah,
I was just curious.
yeah. I think that's the first antiques we did right there.
You built that tank here?
Yeah.
That's pretty groovy. Bob did that one there. And he's got
Okay.
another one kind of marinating over there waiting with a little iron head in it.
I would buy an Iron Head. It wouldn't have to be an Evo, because the Iron Head actually looks like an older bike, you know.
Yeah.
I think if I get me an Iron Head, I would do one of those in olive drab it like Arlen's.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't chrome nothing. I remember, I think what we did,
Oh yeah, look at that.
I think I had to cave the gas tank in for the Springer to rotate.
Sure.
And it really pissed me off. Another one of those deals because I didn't have the front end or
Oh,
something.
the tank was done.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, fuck. All engraved, sheet of wheel. He was getting into the engraving.
Wow.
That's a pretty nice profile there.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Way too much, right?
40 maybe, 40 degrees, maybe more. Yeah, that's it. No, that's
A
more.
lot of nice chrome. Remember you was
yeah.
doing one of those?
Offsetting the
Mag
drum.
wheel.
Yeah, that was for Lindy.
Oh.
I put it was an 18 though. You got the 15's offset enough you can run a drum. The 18's a straight hub, so you have to offset the drum itself. If you cut the center out of the drum, you can't do. I had a cast iron drum I brought to Moles saying, hey, what do I do? And they're like, you don't.
Hey, I'm one for Mad Magazine's worth something today.
Yeah, is the pull-out still in the back? The fold-in?
This fucking thing.
Yeah, Al Jaffe.
There's that fucking zucchini.
Yeah, that's quite a thing there. Hayward and their fucking gold leaf.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fucking gold. And then this fucking pipes go
Yeah,
forward.
where are they going? What are they up to?
Wow.
Well, shit, Bob, we made a mess.
So what about this bad boy?
Yeah.
This by the reason this is here, it's too thin.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is fucking 20 gauge.
Yeah.
It started to come apart right here. So I made the guy a new tank. This is a friend of mine. He had a nice bike. In fact, he still has his bike. It still looks like 1969, black with gold leaf. I'm trying to remember who did the gold leaf.
McCann?
It's right. It's only a mile from here. No, it wasn't McCann. Got a girder front end. It's got one of those things where you don't need a battery. It's got one of these stupid electric things. And
Mighty Max.
yeah, it's a shovel crate motor. He bought a brand new shovel motor, and it still looks like the day he rolled out of Oakland.
Wow.
He hasn't ridden since the helmet lock came in.
Oh, it's just sitting in the living room? Is that it?
He has a collection of bikes
I gotcha.
in a shed. I really worry about it because he could never get them out if he had to. You know, he's really out there. He's just got too far into this shit. He's got so many cars parked blocking the door to the shed so nobody can get his stuff that he couldn't even get them out. But he's got a panhead bagger,
Yeah.
a knucklehead chopper, a couple of Indians.
This guy's in Walnut Creek?
Hmm?
He said he's right down the road, or the Leaf guy's right down the road.
He's about a mile from here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Groovy.
Can I ask his name?
His name is Kevin Alden.
Kevin Alden. Because Rick was saying he knows somebody around here has a bunch of choppers around here.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of guys.
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be that's got a bunch of choppers.
It might be, he might have said Concord.
There's probably somebody in Concord.
I can't recall his name, but
Look at that piece of history.
Yeah.
How about me finding that fucker right
Yeah,
here?
good
There's
man.
Another one.
Yeah, good
Oh,
man.
here. See, there's the other half. There's the heat shield right there.
That's the shield.
But you need the bead. See, this is the throwaway half.
You need the bead because of why.
The
That's
bead,
just what makes it
need
cool.
the bead to cover this bead
Yeah.
on the heat shield.
Yeah.
Why do I say this shit?
What are you talking about? The goons like us can show up and fan out on it. What are you talking about?
Huh? Oh.
So goons like us can show up and weird out on it.
Yeah. Fuck. Is this just the best?
The best.
So, a lot of fucking Sportster tanks cut the bottom off and take like a inch and a half off the bottom
Yeah,
of the
do a
tank to
squish.
nothing in the back.
Mm-hmm.
To lean that tank down, no capacity whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, I got it. Keep a Gatorade bottle.
Hey,
in
come
your
here, check
backpack.
this out.
Full of gas.
This is my time clock.
Oh, you got to get a picture of that.
See this? So when the green light's on, the clock is going. So
Okay.
I just zero it out
yeah.
when I start on the job,
Oh, I see.
and
So
then
you
I
can,
go to lunch. I turn it off
yeah,
and come back.
Gotta
turn
take a
it back
picture of that.
on,
yeah.
and then at the end of the job, that's my hours. How about
Okay.
that? Fucking, because I just saw the other half up there.
Okay, can you hold on 1 sec? Sorry, it's a little. I'm gonna close this so I have the light. Okay. Okay, can you come in a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
fucking time clock, so we can get paid. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not like I was paying very much either.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm gonna turn this off now. So
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
charged for it.
No, you can't do that. Don't want to get a bill in the mail.
Okay.
This one doesn't hang up. It just
This one
shows.
doesn't?
It just shoves in a hole here. Here. Right where I fucking came out of. stint all that shit up. Plus those little
Zach finds out we got a real deal one sitting up on the shelf, he's gonna freak. Cuddy put one on a bike not too long
I
ago.
just did one for his dad.
You
and,
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he waited. They were
Oh,
up
you're
here.
kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I did him a tank, and for a chopper he was doing.
Uh-huh.
This pattern is for the tunnels of those rocket tanks. See, it just got a crease.
Where'd you
Like
come
so.
up? The rocket tank's the fucking creepiest thing I ever seen, but it looks so bitchin' when they're, you know what I mean?
This was the top of the diamond tank.
Yeah.
No, this wasn't the top of it. This was the tunnel of a diamond tank.
Okay.
This got that.
How'd you put
These
the
are
bend
both
in?
tunnels. I had a shop down in San Leandro.
Form 'em?
I take in like 20 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember how he registered.
Was he using the hole there?
That was just my hole to hang my pattern on.
Oh, I got you.
I don't remember how he registered because they came out good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, I probably still got some. This is where all my tunnels used to be. I don't see them. Probably used the last one on Bones.
Yeah.
But yeah, CJ and Nick. You know, Nick does real good. Nick is really, he worked in restoration down there in Berkeley. He knows, he's good. I don't know how he got so good. I mean, they both went to Wyotech.
Nick's doing motors and stuff, right?
He is he's a good mechanic, so is CJ, but Nick is just different. Nick can machine, he can mechanic, he can do computers and wiring. That car's got a Corvette wire loom.
I saw the harness, it just looks
And
a
I
little...
mean, it goes from here to my brake, and Nick, he can start poking wires and shit on the bench and know what that wire goes to. How would you know? You know, he hooks a meter to it and he knows that's going to be the brake light.
Yeah, that's all Greek to me. Always has been.
But they'll never have to look for work. They could use more room. But
Yeah.
fuck, that guy would probably just bring more cars.
He's got a lot of shit.
You know, he just bought, you know what the fucker bought? A Pinot sedan delivery. Remember, they were a wagon that was filled in. I think they had a porthole.
Yeah, they had a hole.
They
I
were
remember.
made Pinots. He bought that. Then he bought a, I think they were made in the 80s. Those first T-Birds were kind of streamlined looking, and they came with turbocharged 4 cylinders. You know the style, like they were 80s model
Yeah,
T-Birds.
yeah.
They were pretty rounded.
Yeah, kind of like a
and
Lincoln
guys
Town
used to
car.
slam them and
Yep.
they looked good.
Yeah.
I wanted one.
Yeah.
He bought one of those to get the 4-cylinder motor for them to replace the 4-cylinder in the Pinot. Well, since then, he bought a better 4-cylinder out of a late model Mustang or something comes with a 4-cylinder now.
Uh-huh.
A Fiesta or I think a Fiesta. So now they're going to put that motor in that sedan delivery thing. And it's goofy. I mean, this guy's got... Why would you want that? He thinks for gas economy. Oh, the guy's got gazillions. What's he care what gas costs, you know?
Yeah, it's just another pissing contest that I'm not privy to, I
That
imagine.
truck that CJ started on with the motor out of a big new Ford truck, that could be nice. The guy has an Ace Hardware store, so he's going to have that truck parked out front of the store.
Sure.
Chopped, all that high-tech fucking suspension. CJ made the spindles, I think, and a lot of nice shit. Then he'll make a bed. They didn't come with pickup beds. That's a cab over. It was for a flatbed. He'll make a bed someday, right? So
Yeah.
the guy could be there forever.
Yeah. I'm going to put these pictures in the wrong spot if
Yeah,
I do this.
just I took them out of. I'm gonna go through all of them and
Okay.
sort them.
Okay.
You know, put all the fucking jet bike together, all the fucking. Because those are just all a grab bag.
Well, what's cooking for the rest of the weekend? Got Mama coming over? You guys gonna go do
Well,
something?
she lives not too far from here. And her dad is 96, so she can't leave him. You know, because he's on a walker. So she comes when her brother gets home from work. Then she can leave and come over here. So she always comes by. I'll probably go maybe play cards this afternoon. Maybe I don't know what. I don't do much. You know, might drive my Volkswagen. See my Bug after I lowered it.
I haven't seen it after you lowered
I'll
it.
come check it out. Oh, that's cool. Hey, I had CJ and Nick do that too. Going out that door, I'm gonna drop you.
Okay. Yeah, it's all business. Seeing that thing parked in here.
What are you guys driving? That white truck?
Just that piece of shit over there.
Is that you?
You see the fender action there? That's when Ken learned about snow chains.
You learned about what?
Snow chains.
Oh. Whoa. Because he didn't have them, or
No, he-
Well, they only had the biggest truck one. I had to walk 3 miles to Walmart because
where were you?
Up
in
in-
Oregon, and it never snows there on 5, and all the semi was parked, and on the side, I couldn't even get off the off ramp, so I parked and I walked to Walmart 3 miles.
Then he bought
All
some
they
chains
had
for a
left
semi
was,
truck.
like big trucks. I had
So
to
he
make
zip
it
tied them on.
work.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I was like stopping, and we do it again. And at the one point, I was like, "Fuck it!" Just all the way up.
You just kept
Like,
running them.
I went to Portland going 5 miles an hour.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was for one show, but I made it.
It was
It
a nice
took me
truck
26 hours.
You were going up there for a photo shoot? Or for,
Yeah, to shoot this event, I had to be there.
You better buy a 4x4.
Yeah, next time.
But don't buy a nice one because we know what it's going to look like after about 6
No,
months.
well, if I had a 4x4,
Look at this little,
Yeah.
Look at this little fucker.
Shit, yeah, dude. I like the color and everything.
Slam.
Hey, maybe paint that Sportster to match. Maybe paint that new Sportster to match.
No, that wouldn't work on the bike, but it sure works on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Jesse James, he had a lot of BWs. Really nice, like, what was it, MP? Ink? No. Yeah, MP, right? Was that was the fiberglass company down in LA?
Yeah.
And they made neat shit, and he had a couple of those Cal Customs bugs and stuff. He had one with a Judson supercharger on it. He had Herman Goring's Volkswagen.
Did
Oh
you
my
work at
gosh.
Steve's when Eric had his dune buggy with a Subaru motor?
I don't think so.
Fuck.
No, I don't think so. But you got enough money.
You weren't there when we did the 33.
The sedan,
Yeah, two-door
the
sedan.
slant back thing.
Yeah.
I was there when we started, and then I'd come in. I checked in, and you guys had the motor in it, and
The Faulkner motor.
yeah, and Solus had all that brass shit on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like what would he call it?
Plumbed, the steam.
Steampunk. It's kind of
And it was
steampunk, right?
plumbed in copper tubing and
too
brass fittings.
Steampunk.
Steampunk. It's like that just kind of
1920s or
chitty bang bang fucking
yeah,
cuckoo
a lot
clock
of
looking
fucking
shit.
brass and copper.
Like a
Just
Jules
like-
Verne kind of time machine looking
Oh, I
stuff.
like
see.
you would brass plate those bumper guards, maybe. You know, or just do stupid shit.
Gears that do weight, like a lot of intricate shit to do nothing. To open the hood, it takes 6 pulleys and a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
bell
Yeah.
crank
Oh, it
and
had
shit
cranks. It had cranks.
to do
Does-
everything.
It folded the headlight, had hidden headlights, and to open them, you reached over and you spun that one, you spun in the headlights. You know how much work that was to make that happen?